In these videos, I would like to explain a little bit about the 3D Augment tab and some of the controls that are available in this tab. Unlike every other tab on the console, the 3D Augment tab can appear once and only once. It has an assigned frame, and you can move it to another frame, but you cannot have multiple instances of it. Like when we set up our monitors up here, right, we were able to have multiple displays of the channel list, or multiple versions of the cue list, or multiple versions of the virtual keyboard. The Augment 3D tab appears once and only once. And let's go in. I'm going to go ahead and move it. I'm going to go to my last display. I'm going to add it. And you'll see the very first one is your Augmented 3D tab. And so what I've done is I've moved my Augmented 3D tab to my monitor 3 setting. And if I go back to number 1, you'll see that it's no longer available there. When I want, I'm going to have to put it back there, right? So there are a variety of settings inside of 3D Augment, and I just want to go through a couple of them with you real quick, right? So the first one is the perspective, and that's how you are looking at your model. If you're using a mouse, and I hope and suggest that you are, your scroll wheel, right? If I'm on my 3D tab, my scroll wheel, by rolling the scroll wheel, it moves me in and out of the perspective. By default, Snapshot 1, I have tried to give you a good perspective on the Light Lab, right? So, but if you want to change that, you can scroll in or out. Now, to move around in the space, if you press and hold the scroll wheel down, you can see that I'm able to lift up, or I can tilt down. I can even go down below the floor level, right? Or I can look straight on like you are typically when you're programming, right? Or I can fly off to the side. This is all done. This sort of perspective move is done by just pressing and holding the scroll wheel down. And when I release, I'm in that position. I'm just going to center back up a little bit. Again, my scroll wheel moves me in and out. Now, the right click button adjusts the angle of the camera, right? So now I'm moving the camera down. I'm pressing and holding the right click button, and I'm moving the camera down. Now I'm going to go back to my scroll wheel button, and I'm going to lift my perspective up. So now I'm up in the ceiling, and I'm looking down on it. So again, the right click is aiming the camera, right? Is how I aim the camera in the space, and pressing the scroll wheel is the camera's position, right? Where it is in 3D space. And again, scroll wheel moves you out. So now you're able to move out into the space. So that's how you pan and tilt and fly around and aim the camera in 3D Augment.